Photography Podcast. This is episode 111, a sky replacement tip number one. I don't really know. Haven't really looked that far into the future yet. But anyway, I just wanted to do something a little bit different this week. I originally planned to go into the Pogo plug and using that as a system for delivery. But I thought, hey, I was out this morning and I shot this, and it's good, but it's all overcast outside, and I thought, well, now would be a perfect time to go into some of those little tips and techniques. So this is a Lightroom kind of exclusive thing. Basically, this is what the sky looked like beforehand. This is what I shot the house in. It's not really nice outside. Obviously, it's a nice house, and I should let you know right off the bat, having a sky look like this is, or I should say, having an overcast day like this is fantastic because you don't get those harsh shadows at any time of the day. It does cause more work for you when you go back and do some post, but hey, there are no harsh shadows. It all worked out. Anyway, if I just click undo real quick just to show you, there are 100 methods to do sky replacement, and this is a quick and easy one. It's not really replacement at all. You're just coloring the sky as to a certain shade of blue. So in Lightroom 2, you can do this really easily with the adjustment brush. I'm going to hover over this. This is one of the, I don't know what they call it, a pinpoint. And it turns all red just to show you what is being colored at the moment. You can also do that just by hitting the O letter O on your keyboard, and that'll show up. That works too. But I'll trash it and I'll show you exactly what I did. So as you can see, it doesn't look too nice. So I click on this, and my color, I think it's one of the defaults down here. It's a nice blue. It's okay because you can change the color after the fact. And I have auto mask turned on. If you don't, it'll bleed into the roof very easily. You might get some bleed into the roof as it is, but it does a nice job. And I'm going to go ahead and just paint in a little bit. And the brush is pretty soft on the edges. That way you can get nice and close to the trees. And you don't have to be perfect, by the way, at all. As you can see, I'm far from it. And using this mouse, this is one I don't usually use. I didn't have anything else on me at the moment. This is a real pain, but whatever. So go ahead, and I advise lifting up every once in a while to start another one. It lags a little bit sometimes, but that way when you go to click undo, you don't undo everything all at once. So this is probably really exciting for you. But anyway, I'm coloring it in, making sure not to get too close to the edges on the house. Okay, so that is slightly better. So our control point shows up over here, and if I hover over it, I can see where I missed and where I bled into. I'm just going to go ahead and click the O letter just to double check some of these areas. Obviously I want to get this. Absolutely. Throw that in. And then I'm going to hold down the Option key. I think it's the Alt key on the PC. And I'm going to try and get rid of some of this red, the red, which is blue in real life, to get rid of some of the stuff that has bled in. Oops. Undo. I'm telling you, this mouse is awful. Anyway. We get in there. Now you can do, this is a really dirty job, but whatever. Quick and dirty. It's done. So I can click this, turn it off. That was before. This is after. I didn't even replace the sky, so calling it a sky replacement is kind of misleading. But it does drastically change the look of the house, and you can see before, after. Now, this is what it would look like. I'll just bump the exposure up real quick. If it actually goes, yeah, that's what it would look like from most people's cameras because the sky usually blows out. But fortunately, when you do that and you can paint in, it works out really well. So another thing, you can change a few things as well. I just saw that I got an email. I'm just gonna quit that real quick so it doesn't pop up and distract. Sorry about that. Anyway, I can show you real quick. If you were to change your exposure, this is going to get a little too dramatic, but we can pull the sky down. Yeah, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. Or bump it up, but you should just leave your exposure alone. For the most part, these sliders aren't going to change the color of the sky that much, except for that exposure slider. Maybe contrast a little bit. Contrast shouldn't change it, and that's changing it oh so slightly. It's not really doing a whole lot. But the other ones won't do it because it's adjusting the gray clouds as opposed to adjusting the blue that you've made. Now, like I said, you can still edit this by going in and making it green, yellow, whatever. You can do whatever you want. You can choose the shade of blue that you want. You don't have to go with the one that it comes with. I think maybe I programmed that in there. I don't remember. But you can make it a little bit darker just by pulling it up a little bit at a time. But anything is better than that. And it doesn't look fake. I mean, that looks a little faker than, a little more fake than this. I'm a big fan of this because it's very subtle. It doesn't distract you too much, and it works. So if I were to finish this up here, I would probably export this photo up. I would probably export this into Photoshop or use Pixelmator or something and blur this house out. Run a filter, blur it out so it's not very distracting. Other than that, I think it's pretty good to go. All right, thanks very much.